Welcome to San Diego, California, where we're staying up late tonight on the West Coast to decide the final spot in the NIT quarterfinals. It is the Mountain West Conference regular season champs, the San Diego State Aztecs, backed by the show here at Viejas Arena, hosting the Washington Huskies out of the Pac-12 conference. And the winner hosts Georgia Tech on Wednesday night in the NIT quarterfinals. The Yellow Jackets just blew out #1 seed South Carolina on the road earlier tonight. The Aztecs advancing to the NIT second round behind the school's first ever triple-double turned in by Winston Shepard in round 1 against IPFW. It only took 2,508 games, Adrian Branch.
Yeah, there's hope for me then in my retired career, but this is a man who plays for 40 minutes and he can play 1 through 4. You always got to be aware he is.
Meantime, the Huskies have a terrific senior of their own in Andrew Andrews, who scores 21 points per game. That led the Pac-12 conference this year. It was also the top scoring mark in a single season at Washington in almost 45 years.
Did it with ease. He's playing with young guys. I think about him and Gary Payton II from Oregon State. They always play with 3 to 4 freshmen. How about the job he laid down? And especially his last game, 47 points. Last game as a senior at home. Wow.
Well, it is one of the nation's most explosive offenses in Washington. They score 84 points a game versus a San Diego State team that is 3rd in the nation in points allowed, only yielding 60 points a night. And talking about yielding points, look at the series history. Pay particular attention to that bottom line. The last time they met, that was early last season. At the time when Washington got off to a great 11-0 start, they held San Diego State to not only 36 total points, Adrian, but 15 in the first half alone. That game played up in Seattle.
Yeah, asked Coach Dutcher, assistant coach, and waiting. I said, what was the real deal? He said, we turned the ball over and we had hard time scoring, but he's realistic. They're going to be ready to play tonight. This should be, I think it should be a classic. This should be an excellent game.
Jumping at center, Skylar Spencer against Marquise Chris. A couple of bigs there. And it is Washington in purple with the opening possession here. They come in at 19 and 14. They're very exciting, very young, and explosive. And in transition, Dakari Allen getting the start over freshman point guard Jeremy Hensley and counting. How about Dakari Allen in the start over the freshman, scores the game's opening bucket and gets a chance at the line.
Well, that's what he is. He wants to drive. He's a slasher. And you've got to win the hustle board right here, the 50-50 board. For the Aztecs, the uglier the better. If they can slop up this game, junk up this game with this crowd is crazy in here.
Dakari Allen completes the three-point play at 10 points on 5 of 9 shooting against IPFW. That was in round 1, a game the Aztecs won at home rather handily.
I like the matchup with Allen on Andrew Andrews. Try to get some lift just to challenge his shots.
Andrew, great entry pass, bounce pass into Malik Dime, and the 6'9" junior from the Senegal slams it home.
That's a great start on the road for Washington. You want to keep this crowd quiet. They're not going to be quiet, but you want to try to keep them quiet, Steve.
You know, one thing we should point out, the Huskies won't be at full strength tonight. While they have a number of freshmen and 3 very talented potential NBA players on their roster, freshman Noah Dickerson has been left home suspended for a week, Adrian, for a violation of team rules.
Not a crime if you fall down. It's a crime if you stay down. Learn from it. Get back up there. You disappointed your team. They could have used you tonight.
You can see the quickness of this very talented young team as Chris went in. That's the great shot blocker out of the Mountain West Conference, Skylar Spencer. 293 career blocks coming in. It's
about the timing, too. Being quick, having instinct. There's an instinct to score. He's got an instinct, a knack for the ball.
San Diego State goes 26 and 9 as Chris from the outside buries the 3.
Keep an eye on that matchup. He and Malik Pope from Sacramento, California, 2 homeboys going at it. They have a high ceiling. Both of these young guys have an opportunity to potentially play at the next level.
Yeah, 2 very good big men from Sacramento, which is turning into a pretty good hotbed for high school basketball.
You think so, Steve, with this?
Aztecs have 3 on their roster from Sacramento. A couple of guards, and Dakari Allen taking an extra step. He's one from Sacramento. They actually call that a jump ball, Adrian Branch. No travel.
Well, it's going to be a game of contact. It's going to be physical. Washington likes to score points. They're in the top 3 in the nation at scoring points from major conferences. But they'll get after you, especially if you got a long ball rebound or turnover.
Sophomore Trey Kell misses with an offensive rebound by Malik Polk, and he was fouled from behind. Lorenzo Romar, the longest tenured head coach in the Pac-12. He's been on the job for 14 seasons, and the kids, those 6 freshmen, not freshmen anymore when you get to late March.
Yeah, and he's been so patient with them. His coaching staff speaks glowingly of him. The players speak glowingly of him. 3-time Coach of the Year. He's one of 4 coaches now. Of course, John Wooden, Dana Altman, and of course, Mike Montgomery has had multiple Coaches of the Year. This guy has been a silent assassin on the Washington sideline.
You saw him give a little hug there to Malik Dime, because this game took an interesting twist right here. 1 minute and 59 seconds in, Dime, who's got a 7-foot, 5-inch wingspan, and one of those 3 potential NBA guys for the Huskies, is going to go to the bench with 2 personal fouls, Adrian.
It's all about the adjustment this time of year, Steve.
Great spin move, Chris. And right there to clean things up, Devenir DeRusso. There's a foul and count the bucket.
They actually could have called a foul right here. Watch Chris wheeling and dealing, going up there. Good hands in traffic. And DeRusso, right place at the right time.
And DeRusso completes the 3-point play. He's one of the great freshmen that they have on this team out of Palmdale, California. Not getting a lot of minutes, a 6'8" freshman.
One thing you notice about Washington right away, they're long and they're quick and they're reactive. And the more they play together with these freshmen, Coach Lorenzo is getting them more disciplined in the structure.
Count it. Winston Shepard in the lane.
Racking up some all-time numbers now, over 2,000 games, the winningest player in program history. He can go inside. He won't beat you as a 3-point shooter, but he's elusive because he's strong on the drive and he can post up. Good frame as well, 6'8", solid build.
Call Marquise Chris, the 6'9" freshman from Sacramento, for his first personal. Already the 3rd team foul against the Huskies. And you see the line on Shepard. Open up NIT play with the school's first triple-double. In 2,508 games, 10 points, 10 boards, and 10 assists against IPFW. And a bank shot is in by the senior Andrew Andrews.
Well, for Andrews now, he had 2 positive plays. He set up Malik Dime on a little pocket pass for an assist, and now a 3-pointer. So he's dialed in, making positive plays. That's what you want from your leader.
Back on the other end there, Shepard, and Shepard muscles his way past Chris to find a bucket. A good pace, and back the other way comes Washington, high off the glass with a drive. DeJounte Murray. San Diego State comes away with it, and a foul is called. They're going to get a reach-in on Matisse Thybulle. What defense by the Aztecs here, just disrupting things at the rim here.
Yeah, that's good active hands. You're going to get that all game long. Good block by Pope going straight up. Now, those plays right there is what drives Coach nuts. Cheap play, get back on defense. That's inexperience right there. Where are you going?
2 very good shot blocking teams, by the way. Kell attacks the basket and scores. See why he was a Mountain West Conference first teamer, according to the coaches. Quick shot for Washington. They like to put it up about 12 seconds into the shot clock.
That's what I was going to say. First 8 to 12 seconds, 8, 10, 12 seconds before the defense gets set. But they have playmakers like that. So Murray is comfortable with that little floater.
One of the quickest triggers anywhere in the NCAA. Kell left of the lane, missed off the front of the rim. And Chris grabs the board. And Kell fouls him, and that's going to be the 2nd on Trey Kell here. So an interesting dynamic on the part of the Aztecs right now. Kell has to go to the bench.
Yeah, one of their best 3-point shooters. His game is starting to expand, getting comfortable in the system. So that takes away a 3-point threat from him for a while.
Sellout crowd at Viejas Arena, 12,414 for an NIT 2nd-round game. Winner gets a home game against Georgia Tech, who blew out #1 seed South Carolina tonight. Look at the moves by Chris. Got his own offensive rebound and then got a block from behind. Looked like it was Spencer again.
The value of Spencer as a shot blocker makes up for so many deficiencies. You're out to play, you think you got an open lane, and then he's swatting it.
Here come the quick pace Huskies. Andrews out to Chris. Andrews will drive through a couple of defenders and put up the short shot, which doesn't even draw iron in the lane. And that takes us to a break. A feverish pace here in the opening moments of this NIT second round game. The winner gets a home game against Georgia Tech in the quarterfinals.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Principal. No matter who you are or where you end up in life, progress is possible. And Hyundai.
Here's the plan. You're a financial company that cares, but your logo is old and a little pointy. So you evolve, you simplify. You haven't changed, you still help people live their best lives. And finally, your new logo is ready, and you decide the perfect time to show the world is right now.
This is your moment to start something better. Right now, take advantage of our limited time offers during the Hyundai Seize the Moment sales event. Hurry in and get 0% APR on the 2016 Sonata or lease for just $199 a month, plus $500 event cash.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls, and you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for better car replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Who invented the Reuben? Putting sauerkraut, marble rye, and corned beef together? That's cray-cray. Then again, somebody had to eat eggs for the first time. Arby's, we have the meats.
You focus on making great burgers, or building the best houses in town, or becoming the next highly unlikely.com superstar. In us, we'll be right there with you, helping with the questions you need answered to get your brand new business started. We're LegalZoom, and we've already partnered with over 1 million new business owners to do just that. Check us out today to see how you can become one of them. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
Welcome back to San Diego, NIT second round. We are 4 minutes and 23 seconds into this one, and already the two teams have jacked up 24 shots. Alongside Adrian Branch, I'm Steve Quist. Welcome courtside here to Viejas Arena, where San Diego State and Washington, the winner, gets a home game against Georgia Tech, so the stakes are high. And Winston Shepard, coming off a triple-double, already has 5 points for San Diego State.
Well, remember, he was in last year's debacle when they only scored 36 points, so they want to start early. The tempo, both teams want to do the same thing with the tempo. They want to get early, high-percentage shots before the defense gets set. But you look at him right now, bobbing his head. He's got that ball player look. He's got that swagger. That's good for the home team when he's active.
Now, some foul trouble for both squads we should remind you of. Malik Dime has 2, so he went to the bench quickly. Trey Kell, one of the leading scorers for San Diego State, also with 2 personals. And we've got a whistle, and the official pointing right to the Huskies bench here. Michael Irvin, David Hall, Deldre Carter are our officiating crew. Boy, right as that ball came across into the forecourt, we got a quick whistle. And a technical foul for Washington for having 6 men on the court, Adrian. I haven't seen that all year in college basketball.
Little things make the big things happen, and you got to pay attention to detail. Coming out of the timeout, you can't give away easy possessions right there, and that's not reflective of Coach Romar.
So Winston Shepard gets 1 foul. And
middle of the screen. Right there.
1 foul shot. Yep, that was Matisse Thybulle who was the extra man on.
That's called knucklehead sauce. that's knucklehead sauce.
That's like college football.
Yeah,
you see that all the time.
Yeah, that's a little street ball right there. It's like, come on, you got to pay attention to detail. Don't give away easy baskets.
So the Aztecs continue to have possession. They get an extra point as well. And Hemsley will drive, and the fabulous freshman from the Inland Empire here. This is his first shot. Seeing his first action, he comes off the bench due to a bruised right foot that's limited him of late. Following him over the last 10 games. Look at the Huskies taking the shot clock down to 15. What's going on here?
Well, it's good defense. That's a compliment. They don't want to. They will if they have to. Their DNA is to try to get early offense. But that's who San Diego State is. They're first in the nation in opponent's points, 60%. First in the opponent's field goal. So you're going to have to be patient and turn the basketball over.
But the Aztecs must have made the adjustment in the timeout. Andrews launches for 3, and running down the rebound and starting the fast break is Winston Shepard. He puts it up. And an offensive foul is going to be called against Winston Shepard.
Change the defenses. Now, both teams have to get back. Again, because of Washington being so quick and explosive, that's a good call. That's a good call. Nowhere to go. He's got that junkyard dog about him. It's nothing really pretty. It's not, his game is not going to make the all-good-looking team.
No, but he did make the Mountain West Conference all-defensive team. He was the second-team all-Mountain West Conference selection.
Yeah, he's got a champion's DNA. Represents himself and the school very well.
Here's the drive and a right-handed finger roll in and out by DeJounte Murray. Look at the Aztecs around the rim with that defense. My goodness, they'll get you almost 6 blocks a game. It's 12-10 in favor of San Diego State. Just inside of 14.5 to go in the first half. Hemsley, the freshman, with a turnaround. He misses. And a little extracurricular activity, a foul on the floor. And it's going against Washington. Looks like it's going to be on Devenir DeRusso.
Coach Romar is one of his mentors. The great John Wooden would say, be quick, but don't hurry. So this game is speeding you up. They're both throwing haymakers, but you got to be under control with your defensive intensity.
Angelo Scholl gets it blocked by Marquise Chris. He's in the ball game. He transferred from Arizona. Streaking down the floor, David Chris. And here is Chris. He was knocking those down in practice yesterday with relative ease.
Well, pulled up too fast. He pulled up on that one. You want to pose for a picture when you're shooting an open three-pointer. There's no hurry. No one's closing out on you.
Remains 12-10 San Diego State. Inside of 14 minutes to go.
Look at Shepard, the veteran, going against the freshman. Both of them love to play. Look at that love for the game right there.
Senior comes up short on the drive, saving it from going out of bounds as Murray. Huskies with a chance to equalize with 2. Perhaps take the lead with a 3. Chris tries to feed it right of the lane to Marquise Chris. And it goes out of bounds. It's going to be a turnover for the Huskies. It'll be San Diego State basketball.
The interesting thing, when you have a pressure team like Washington, you have to play with such intensity and fervor, but offensively you got to slow it down a notch. So on 10 you can move at a 10, but on offense you want to move at a 7 just to get into a rhythm and a flow. Slow yourself down. Despite
the pace, that's the first turnover for the Huskies. Turnovers even at 1 apiece. And Hemsley underneath to Dakari Allen. He got fouled as he went up. 13-15 to go here in the first half. It's 12-10 San Diego State.
Because San Diego State is not a lights-out three-point shooting team, most of their possessions have been inside of 15 feet. That's good for them because you'll start to fatigue Washington and get into the penalty a little early.
Marquise Chris just picked up his second. So he's got to go to the bench. Malik Dime will come back in. He's playing with 2 personals. So see if the Aztecs go after Dime, who's got that 7-foot 5-inch wingspan. Kid who's fluent in 7 languages from Senegal. And look at Chris right there. I was looking at Chris Ford's draft board today, and Marquise Chris, a kid who almost got cut from his freshman team in high school, is Chris Ford's 9th projected overall pick.
Don't say it too loud. Washington fans don't want to hear that. But he's got potential.
Yep.
6'8.5", they were saying, almost 6'9" without shoes. He can touch the rim with his head. The jumper is outstanding, shooting it without a hitch.
That was a foul on Dakari Allen on the drive by Andrews. That's his first, the 14th foul. Coming up on 13 minutes to go in the first. 14-10 San Diego State. Andrews shakes his defender, and a good one in Allen. And then gets the shot to go down, and that ends a 7-0 San Diego State run.
San Diego State coaching staff was saying how intelligent Andrews is. Plays with poise, you can't speed him up, and he's a playmaker. He can beat the defense in pressure with his decision-making.
Allen ticked out to Hensley, who misses off the back of the rim. He struggled with his shot here, and a steal by Allen, who's a great defender. Over Dime, playing with 2 personals, and gets it to roll in.
Washington has to pay attention to the little things, the broken plays, the 50-50 balls.
Andrews misfires off the back of the rim. It goes up over the top of the backboard and out of bounds.
Now, this play was right here. You got to be strong with the basketball. Always be aware that you have a pesky defender that's hungry. They're like a bloodsucker. They're going to get that ball. If you're not strong with it, you got active, hot hands.
And again, Dime, who has 87 blocks, the single-season school record, had a 7-block game against Colorado. Hamstrung, as Shrigley comes off the bench and buries a 3 from the corner.
This is not a team at home you want to play catch-up with.
That shot won't go down for DeJounte Murray, the freshman from Rainier Beach. Good passing back the other way, and disrupting things was David Crisp. Ripped it away from Chol. Transition back the other way. Crisp a 3. DeRusso got the offensive board. A drive there, and count it? No. Offensive foul against DeJounte Murray. Well, the Huskies not getting the calls early on the road here, round 2 of the NIT. Don't count that basket. The foul is on Murray. Already the 17th foul for the Huskies. Not even halfway home in the first half.
This is your moment to start something better. Right now, take advantage of our limited time offers during the Hyundai Seize the Moment sales event. Hurry in and lease the all-new 2016 Tucson for just $199 a month. Seize your moment at your Hyundai dealer today.
Put more fun in your day with ice cream flavored coffees at Dunkin' Donuts. Go for delicious flavors like butter pecan, cookie dough, or new pistachio. Enjoy one today. America runs on Dunkin'.
Dove Men Plus Care, the strength test. Like leather, skin is stronger when it's hydrated. That's why Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash has a unique hydrating formula to leave skin healthier and stronger.
If Right Twix is going to be over there cascading caramel on cookie all night, we'll be over here flowing caramel on cookie.
Wouldn't it be funny if they were working late just because they thought we were working late?
They're not that stupid.
Try both. Pick a side. Twix.
Arby's spent months crafting a tasty Italian antipasto salad as a sandwich alternative. Whoops! It's a sandwich! Arby's, we have the meat.
San Diego State with their biggest lead of the game by 7, and Adrian Branch, the Aztecs defense, has harassed opponents for years on the defensive end, and UW won for their last 14 from the field.
You know what? You got to play to your strengths. That's what they are. Look at those active hands surrounding the basketball. Not giving anything easy. You've got to win the hustle board now. If you're Washington, that's in the scouting report. Match their toughness with toughness of your own and being under control.
Already 4 blocks in the game for San Diego State, 3 for Skylar Spencer, who's the Mountain West Conference all-time block leader. And the Aztecs, they're 10th in the nation in blocks at 5.5 per game, but the team that's actually better, that leads the nation in blocks, is Washington with 6.6 per game, and they only have 1 out of Marquise Chris.
Well, it'll settle down for them. Now, remember, this is a young team, so now, right now, we're looking at 3 freshmen out here on a big stage. They're learning on the road, and oh, by the way, for the last 8 years, this is the 7th winningest place at home at 90%.
San Diego State on a 12-2 run, looking for more on the drive, and that got blocked by Dime out of bounds on the drive by Allen.
Here's something interesting, Steve. When you're trying to get that second win and you're trying to settle down, you don't want to pick up cheap fouls while you're trying to get into the flow of the game. Because this is an electric atmosphere, and because the Aztecs are so lively defensively, they try to take you out of your comfort zone. That's where you have to play with poise, get good shots, And who's going to put the team on their back offensively?
Murray tries to lob it up for Diamond. Again, disrupting things is Spencer, but he stepped out of bounds on the end line and will give it right back to the Huskies.
Interesting thing about Spencer, all of a sudden he doesn't look like he can make a play, and he's right there. I had a teammate, Derek Lewis from Maryland. He and his brother Cedric Lewis have all the block shots. They're top 2, top 3. But they could be out of a play and recover and block a shot or deflect it.
Baseline jumper from the right off the mark by Dominic Green. He too a freshman from Renton, Washington. 2016 NCAA Women's Basketball Championships tip-off Friday at noon Eastern on ESPN2. You can catch every moment of the tournament on the ESPN Family of Networks. For more information, visit NCAA.com. Your home for all 89 NCAA championships.
Priority for Washington's defense is right there. You just want to junk up that middle, but you can't lose a three-point shooter.
Shrigley getting comfortable right there in that spot.
Textbook drawing the defenders, but you can't lose sight of an open three-point shooter.
That kid tore his ACL back in July. A shade under 6 months later, he's back on the court. How about that? And Shrigley got pushed from behind, trying to save it from going out of bounds, but it's going to stay Washington basketball.
Now you're going to watch the jump shooter going over to the corner. Just a basic play, but here's the defense. The defenders are going to suck in. He draws 3 of them, and you can't leave an open shooter. Now that's what you call posing for a picture. Got it.
And the kid is 2 for 2 from 3 to start. And he's just shooting 23% on the year. Matt Shrigley, the right ACL tear was on July 20th. The surgery was on July 28th. And he was back on January 23rd playing in a Mountain West Conference game.
Tough shot there. You don't want that shot coming from your rebound. You want to pass that around one more time.
Hemsley, and he was fouled on the drive. And picking up the personal will be Dominic Green, the freshman from Renton, Washington.
If you look at the formula for San Diego State, what are they doing? Attacking. They're not going to settle for the three-point shot. They want to play 15 feet in. And if you look at their possessions, all but about 4 of them have been inside the 15-foot mark.
Aztecs with a double-digit lead of 10 with 10-12 to go here in the opening half. And the winner is going to get Georgia Tech, who beat #1 South Carolina on the road tonight, meeting the game on Wednesday in the quarterfinals. Either going to be here at Viejas Arena or he's going to be up at Alaska Airlines Arena in Seattle. And the UW folks are on spring break.
You got to get somebody up there. The interesting thing right now, San Diego State remembers the egg they laid, only 36 points. They're playing with the urgency. Washington has a new cast of freshmen. Only that guy with the basketball really remembers last year's beatdown.
That's right. That was in December on Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th. They had 15 first-half points in Seattle to the Aztecs. Finding a shot there and a tough one. Matisse Feibel, he's a freshman out of Eastside Catholic High School in the Seattle area.
Say he's the best athlete. If you look at Chris, who's 6'10", and can kiss the rim, but they say he's their best defender and best athlete.
We were talking about the 7-foot 5-inch wingspan of Dime, but Feibel has a 7-foot wingspan.
At 6'5", 6'6".
One of the youngest teams in the nation, the youngest in the Pac-12 this year.
Yeah, 5th youngest, like you said, 5th youngest in playing experience.
9 guys started the year under age 19, and 3 of those 9 are still under 19. And they're growing up in a hurry. There's a block shot by, of all people, Hemsley, the point guard. He didn't get too many of those, and it's going to be San Diego State basketball. Last touch by the Huskies.
Wonderful job by Hemsley closing out. That's a good block with the defense. Good call.
5 blocks for San Diego State.
And the wonderful thing, the good thing about Washington and their young team, they have a short memory. So they've been out of sync. They haven't been able to get clicking because of that stingy defense of the Aztecs, but they got a short memory. That's too easy.
Back it in is Winston Shepard. He misfires and transition the other way. The bounce pass and a foul by Shrigley on the drive of Dominic Green.
Steve, I had the privilege of calling 10 Pac-12 games. And Washington is so quick. Even when I see them again, they've gotten even more explosive, quicker. San Diego State has been able to build a wall around their good defense because they're getting high percentage shots on their offense, which helps set the defense.
Coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship Regional Semifinals begins Thursday on CBS and TBS at 7 p.m. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. Second one by Green, originally an Arizona State commit who was granted release when there was a coaching change. He plays about 10 minutes a night and averages 2.5 points a game.
Plays a lot bigger than the 6'6" frame. When I first saw him, I thought he was about 6'8". He's really 6'6", but he's got long arms. And it's not how big you are, it's how big you play.
Again, Washington playing without Noah Dickerson and driving with the left hand and misfiring in Shepard. And here come the speedy Huskies down the floor. Andrews kicks it into the corner. Spot up three is open and made by Dominic Green.
Remember 2 possessions ago, I was saying this was a young team, but they have a short memory. Look at this now. They're back attached to this game, and Andrews doesn't force it. He allows his teammates to play around him.
Last 2 minutes, they have made up almost half that 11-point deficit. They're on a 6-0 run, yeah. Got it within 5. That's a manageable 5. Hemsley with the right bruised foot, drives a little too hard, and that'll be a tie-up. Possession arrow pointing toward Washington, so the Huskies are going to have the basketball when we come back. 7:57 to go, first half. NIT round number 2. The winner moves on to the quarterfinals and gets a home game. Dominic Green wants to play one more in Seattle.
This is your moment to start something better. Right now, take advantage of our limited time offers during the Hyundai Seize the Moment sales event. Hurry in and get 0% APR on the 2016 Sonata or lease for just $199 a month, plus $500 event cash.
And the main event features Steph Curry. From downtown, yes! Boom! He picks his pocket. Razzle dazzle. Boom shakalaka. He's heating up. He's on fire. Is it the shoes? Knicks Bulls at 8. Then Steph and the Warriors continue their pursuit of history at 10:30. Wednesday on ESPN and the ESPN app. Presented by State Farm.
Growing a business without a website is a huge challenge. But more than half of small business owners still don't have one. At GoDaddy, everybody who gets a domain name, website, and Microsoft email, all for just $1 a month, also gets their very own human to help you 24/7 for free.
What? I'm a bargain.
Having a website is critical to getting new customers, and GoDaddy has all the tools you'll need.
I'm a tool to help you get online.
Just call 888-765-8480 or go to GoDaddy.com/human to get your domain, website, and email. When you do, you'll get a free human to help get you online and be found by more customers. Customers who buy things. And it's all just $1 a month. Call 888-765-8480 or go to GoDaddy.com/human right now.
Well, this week, our NBA Wednesday doubleheader presented by State Farm on ESPN has Carmelo and the Knicks in Chicago to battle Jimmy Butler and the Bulls at 8 Eastern. Then at 10:30, it's the NBA's fiercest rivalry. CP3, DeAndre Jordan, and the Clippers take on Splash City at Oracle Arena. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown, charged by Dew at 7, and both games are streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Back in San Diego alongside Adrian Branch, I'm Steve Quist. 5-point lead for the Aztecs. NIT second-round game. Steve Fisher at his 17th season. How about this? 13 postseason appearances for the Aztecs under his tenure. Before he came here, there'd be like 17 people in the building.
Now 10 titles, 6 regular season, 4 tourneys, the all-time winningest coach. I mean, the accolades pour in, and he's a player's coach. Coaching staff was saying he really just lets the guys play in structure.
And he's got an NIT sellout, 12,414 strong on a Monday night with an 8:30 tip local time. Here's Xylem Cheatham, and he lost it out of bounds. It's going Washington way. That's just going to be the 3rd turnover of the first half for San Diego State.
good things happen when you play hard. Both of these teams play hard. San Diego State came out with a blistering pace, as you expect at home, and then Washington was able to weather the storm. Now you're back. You're still within attached 5 points in this game, and you've got a three-point shooter that gets to the free throw line, and Andrew Andrews.
Yep, and Murray is 0 for 7 from the floor to start things, so it's only a matter of time before the fabulous freshman guard starts warming up for Washington. Here's Shepard. He gets tied up, and a little bit of length there. Matisse Thybulle knocks it out of bounds. It's staying with San Diego State.
If you're the coaching staff of San Diego State, you're happy what you're seeing offensively because they're still playing 12 feet men inside the basket. You bend, and then see if your opponent breaks.
The Aztecs offensively only score 68 points per game. That was last in the Mountain West Conference. Trey Kell to the hole with 2 personals. It's Xylem Cheatham getting the offensive rebound, and he got stripped as he put it up. And here comes Murray streaking back with the pass, and the reverse lay-in by Thybulle is good.
You better get the Washington Huskies right now with 4 games left in the season before the championship, because they're going to be a problem this time next year. Wow, they are fast.
An 8-0 run for the Huskies, Adrian, over the last 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah, and this is against the best defense in the nation.
Kell to the hole and rolls it right off his fingers in.
Smooth, very smooth. He could have turned it over and dunked it. Very smooth. Deceptively quick.
He's a sophomore from San Diego, averages 12.5 points per game. Andrews can't muscle it up, and here comes Cheatham back the other way to lead the break. Kell wants more on the baseline. Oh, even though he's a big fella, he's got that range. It's in and out, and rebounded by DeRusso. Murray again 0 for 7, and there's his first made field goal of this contest.
Coaching staff, I said, who does he remind you of? And he said, Jamal Crawford. He's got that kind of slender body that can get through the seams and cracks, has a knack for playing, and he's got a love for the game. He just is a baller, loses himself in competition.
He's mentored by Jamal Crawford. He's out of Rainier Beach, 6'5" freshman.
Now watch this. The scouting report is get to them within 8 seconds. They're already there scoring. It's one thing to know what's going to happen, and it's another thing to stop it. And again, we're talking about San Diego State at home. That's the #1 defense in America.
There's a foul on Devenir DeRusso. That's going to be his second. It's the 19th foul. It's going to send Xylem Cheatham, a 6'9" freshman from Phoenix, who gives the Aztecs instant energy off the bench. He's at the line.
Another young person. That's not the most gorgeous looking free throw you see in the style, but it works. But his bread and butter is the effort above the rim. He's active, hands-on balls. You'll see a lot of dunks and block shots with him out on the floor.
He's got an NBA body, and you go back a dozen years, they couldn't get a kid with a body like this to come to San Diego State. Now they're going to get Jelon McDaniels out of Federal Way Washington High School is their lone signee for next season. While the Huskies are getting a real good one, too, and Markel Fultz out of DeMatha Catholic.
I heard of that school before. Only the best school in the high school, the history of high schools. But, yeah, this young man will come in, run the point guard. He can play big or small. It'll be a great addition for the Huskies.
Aztecs stealing one right out of the Huskies' backyard. Although I'm not sure Lorenzo Romar can afford to have any more freshmen. There's Chris. He's back in the game after sitting a significant chunk of this first half with 2 personal fouls, and then he gets fouled on the shot attempt.
18 years old. He could be a junior in high school right now and then go to prep school and then go for another year. This young guy has such a high ceiling because of his explosiveness. Look at that form, no hitch on his shot. And I don't think he knows how good he is yet, how good he could be yet.
Foul was on Spencer. That's his first. I mean, we touched upon this, though. He's the late bloomer, almost cut from his freshman team at Pleasant Grove High School in Sacramento. And then in the first game of the NIT against Long Beach State, 27 points on 11 of 17 shooting and 1 spectacular dunk after another. And he had 18 of those second-half points there in the against Long Beach State in the final 20 minutes.
And the Huskies don't run the offense for him. The super assistant coach, Rafael Chilius, said, we really don't run the offense for him. We just let him get his in the flow of the game.
Again, I was at practice yesterday, and he was just burying off the bounce threes in the corner. It was beautiful coming out of his hand. Thing of beauty. 6 to go on the shot clock, and Spencer put it up. It got disrupted. There's going to be 3 on the shot clock, and the possession's going to remain with San Diego State since the Huskies got a little piece of that ball going out of bounds.
Can't pick up a cheap foul on the out of bounds right there. Good deflection by Chris, because Skyler had Andrews, the 6'11", had the point guard right there on his back.
Off the inbound, and we told you that Pope has that in the arsenal of 3. And the 6'10" sophomore from Sacramento finally hits it in his second attempt.
The more I see him, the more he reminds me of Uncle Cliff Robinson. 6'11", shooting jumpers. Got a nice package.
Murray misses the 3 from the wing left. Allen pushes it. Here's Shepard, and they've got the mismatch here. Chris picks up Shepard, but Chris is only 6 feet. They get the pass underneath, a dunk by Skyler Spencer, and the foul.
For the Washington defense, we told you right there, you're already beat. You have to commit a big guy, and then that's a cheap foul. But they were beat inside the paint. Now here comes Dime to shore up the middle.
And that's the 3rd on Marquise Chris. So he sits out that chunk, immediately comes back in and gets his 3rd. The assist from Winston Shepard's, sending Skyler Spencer to the line.
That's where he has to quicken his feel for the game, because he's already beat. Save your fouls. Give up that 2 points. You'd rather still be out there on the field, on the floor playing. Did I just see what we just saw that free throw?
Well, remember, he changed hands in the offseason. He was so bad with the other hand.
Whoa.
And he's now shooting during his senior year with a different hand.
Oh, slow that one down.
He might have to go underhand. Back to the Springfield days.
I give him permission. Wow.
Murray, another miss. And Pope tried to secure the board, but couldn't. It rolled off his fingers out of bounds. So the Huskies will have it at the 4:04 mark of the first half.
San Diego State is true to form right now. They're big, they're long, they're athletic, and they're gritty. And we're seeing that right now with the hustle board, points in the paint, defensive rebounds. They're +3. Also, total rebounds right now, winning the hustle board.
Inside of 4 to go.
Tough shot.
Yep. And made by Dominic Green. He's got a couple of those 3s here in the first half. Keeping the Huskies in it. They're within 5.
Coach Romar said his puppies are young, but they won't be afraid. That was a tough shot. Needed that to slow down the run of San Diego State.
Been a long season. Remember, the season started with a win over Texas in China, and there's a foul on the drive by Hensley. Another foul for the Washington Huskies. This time it's going against Matisse Thybulle. Takes up 5.
Opening day, April 3rd and 4th on ESPN.
You can check on them. You can worry about them. You can even choose a car for them.
Honey, are you okay?
I'm okay.
Love.
We're okay.
It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
You both have a perfect driving record.
Until one of you clips a food truck.
Then your rates go through the roof. Perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Why are people walking and biking the subway? For our delicious new rotisserie-style chicken. It's raised without antibiotics and hand-pulled by 2 huge forks. Try it today with tumbling peppers and slow-motion onions. The new rotisserie-style chicken sandwich from Subway. Fresh is what we do.
Gatorade Recover. Protein and carbs for athletes, because the way you recover affects the way you play.
If you need advice for your business, LegalZoom has your back. Our trusted network of attorneys has provided guidance to over 100,000 people just like you. Visit LegalZoom today for legal help you can count on. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
Here's the plan. You're a financial company that cares, but your logo is old and a little pointy. So you evolve, you simplify. You haven't changed, you still help people live their best lives. And finally, your new logo is ready, and you decide the perfect time to show the world is right now.
San Diego State on their home floor by 5. And let's take a look at how progress is possible for both Washington and San Diego State. It's brought to you by Principal Financial Group and good seasons, Adrian Branch, for 2 departing seniors. You see what Andrew Andrews has done this season, and Skylar Spencer as well.
And you know what? The good thing, it's more than just an individual performance, representing their school very well. Andrew Andrews, again, playing with 3 and 4 freshmen all season long. And how about the big fella, Skylar, already impacting this game? What's he have, 3 or 4?
He's got 3 blocks already for 296 now in his career.
And, Steve, here's the thing. All of them have been open lanes, and then he closes it in a hurry.
And Skylar Spencer is San Diego State and the Mountain West Conference's career leader in wins with 107, playing in his 142nd game here on the Mesa.
Just don't ask him to shoot a free throw. That one was a little disturbing. Go underhand, big man.
It was worse in high school when he was at L.A. Price. Trust me.
Was it really?
Yeah, I had the privilege of calling his state championship game as a senior.
I'm going to say drop kick it, man.
I think I actually on the air dropped my first whoa because I hadn't seen him before.
Other than that, he's a masterpiece. He fits well with what they want to do, the defensive anchor.
Emsley, the freshman, made 1 of 2. He's a big reason why San Diego State had another 26-win season. They're 26-9 overall, 11 straight season with 20 or more wins, and 4 straight years, Adrian, with 26 or more wins.
Playing the right way, too. What's their identity? They commit to playing for one another on the defensive end. Good defense.
Yep. And another block by Spencer. Well, he gets all his shots.
Well, the interesting thing about Spencer, he's not out of position when he's challenging shots. He's just going straight up in the lane. He is gifted defensively like a Buddy Hill to Andrew Andrews offensively.
They're going to miss him next year. You don't get much offensively out of him, but
don't need it.
He's a great
You don't need it.
Here's Shepard backing in on the freshman. Green, and a great turnaround in the lane, and the Fallaway goes down.
Washington has to commit to running at him. When you get an upperclassman measuring you in the post, 1, 2 power dribbles, and then inside the paint, that percentage favors the home team.
On the Andrews drive in the lane.
Now, it starts with 1, 2, and then inside the paint, you're already beat. You're going to have to run at him, fake at him, jab at him. You can't allow him to get so close with that elevation because the shot blocking is not there on ball.
Kari Allen was called for the foul. Andrews at the line for a 1-and-1, misfires. For Allen, that was his second foul. The Aztecs trying to get Shrigley in, and Allen just takes it to the rack. And the offensive rebound and the putback by Skylar Spencer. This is what I was talking about, his lack of offense. Only 3.7 points per game. He makes me eat my words. Green fought away over the length of Shepard. Pope, and a foul. We have had a lot of whistles here in this first half. They just got Matisse Thybulle for another. That's his 3rd.
If you're Washington, you just want to get your boxer back to the corner and let the bell ring. They want this 155, keep it under 10 points, and get to the half because they're a good second half team. But San Diego State winning the we talked about the hustle forward with the second shots, points in the paint. And then you've got Skylar, who has been blocking shots, beat Washington at their own game so far.
Washington in a world of hurt when it comes to foul trouble. 3 for Chris, 3 now for Thybulle. Dime has 2. Also 2 for Devenir DeRusso. Second round game from San Diego. It's a home game against Georgia Tech, and Winston Shepard, coming off the school's first triple-double, is just back at it again here in this game, Adrian.
You can see him playing with so much determination and resolve. He doesn't want to go home and end his career. He's taking it personal. Remember the last time he played, only 36 points against Washington. He's made a statement so far in this early first half.
His first half numbers: 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. He had the triple-double against IPFW. That was almost a week ago in the opening round here. Lead is 11 for San Diego State, matching their biggest of the basketball game inside of 2 minutes to go.
Big possession. They're mixing up the defenders. Now Shepard is on them. They got a 1-3-1 to try to keep Andrews out of his driving lane.
Again, Huskies in foul trouble, and Noah Dickerson was left back home after being suspended, so Lorenzo Romar's bench is depleted.
One of their best inside scorers as well.
That's a great turnaround, and with a left hand off the window, a heck of a play there by the freshman from nearby Palmdale in DeRusso.
Again, if they can keep this under 10 points, you'll take that, because San Diego State has played extremely well on both ends of the floor in this first half. This has been a challenge, keeping them outside the lane.
A double high, Shrigley inside. Spencer lost it. Now it's rolling around and picked up by Pope. And Pope puts it up right of the lane and scores it. That's not the way they drew it up, but they'll take it. Chris with cutting Andrews, the senior, trying to take over. And Spencer has the rebound.
The length and explosiveness has bothered Andrews.
And Hensley can't get it to go, but Shepard is there. 42-29 as Shepard is the first into double figures with 10 here for either side. Final seconds of the first half. Murray trying to drive on Spencer and can't get it to go down. Spencer has the rebound. Chance for the Aztecs to increase this lead here. Elevation, and Shrigley with his third three of the first half as time expires. A 16-point advantage for San Diego State at the half. Shrigley is 3 for 3 from out there, and no one has guarded him at all. This time he chooses another spot on the floor. Adrian Branch left me, wants to go talk to Steve Fisher. Adrian?
How'd you get off to such a fast start?
We're a good team, Adrian. We're a team that's feeding off the crowd, and we guard people, and that's what we've done tonight. We've made it hard for them to get easy baskets, and that's a difficult task because they can really get out and go, and they're very athletic.
What are you going to tell them in the second half to keep this momentum and keep this sixth man who's been out of control, keep the pressure going on them?
Deep breath and more of the same. I like what I saw the first half.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Adrian.
All right. You heard it. Keep the pressure on.
All right, Adrian, thank you very much. Good hustle getting over there, fighting through the 12,414 fans. San Diego State has Washington in foul trouble. They also have a 16-point advantage at the half. Winner gets a home game against Georgia Tech.
$19.99. You'll receive one lightweight back belt, form-fit for your size and comfort. Order right now, and your shipping is free.
If you want the power to stay active, then you want CopperFit.
Experience the power of CopperFit back.
Back in San Diego, the Aztecs by 16 at the break. Adrian Branch caught up with UW head coach Lorenzo Romar just a moment ago.
Coach, you know the intensity that San Diego State plays with. What are you going to do to try to get your big three going offensively?
Well, we're not going to be able to do anything offensively if we continue to rush. We're rushing too much. We're trying to shoot on the first side. They're a very good defensive team. They're good at clogging the lane, and we're just forcing too much. If we get ball reversals, guys will end up making it easier, and they'll get scoring baskets.
And then on the defensive end, they had a few second chance points. What are you telling them defensively to hold them to one and done?
Well, we can't gamble. We started to gamble and trap when that wasn't what we were calling to do. So we just have to be more disciplined and continue to put a body on them.
Thank you, Coach. All right.
Well, that sellout crowd has settled back into their seats for the start of the second half. San Diego State will have it first. They close the first half on a 13-2 run, and they lead this NIT second-round game by 16. The winner advances to the quarterfinals on Wednesday night, 6 p.m. game on ESPN2 against Georgia Tech. It'll be on either the Aztecs or Huskies' home floor, as Georgia Tech with the upset over #1 South Carolina. Remember that last year's meeting, the Aztecs held to 15 first-half points. They tripled that here at home, and they turned it over on their opening possession, but only had 4 turnovers in the first half. The Huskies only had 2, and Thibault can't get it to fall on the opening shot of the second half.
You heard Coach Romar say that they were speeding up, and that's what a good defense wants to do, get you out of your rhythm and speed you up.
Here's Cal. He'll step in for an open jumper and hit the deep 2.
This young man plays with ease and pace. He has a nice pace to his game.
There's going to be a foul against San Diego State after the basket went in against Winston Shepard. And that's Deidre Carr coming over to the scorer's table. Nope, no foul. Take it back. Delay of game warning against Winston Shepard III. And we got a quick break. Less than a minute in. San Diego State 47 and Washington 29.
Knicks Bulls at 8. Clippers Warriors at 10:30. Wednesday on ESPN.
Hey, look. It's car dealership Tube Man in the Scion IA. Recently liberated and never looking back. It's weird he'd want a backup camera. Well, with the whole never looking back thing. And he can barely contain his excitement about the low-speed pre-collision safety system. It's weird he'd care about a 7-inch touchscreen display when his hands are in the air like he just don't. But who better to point out all the standard features? The 2016 Scion IA. 0.0% APR plus $500 bonus cash.
These are the hands that drive commerce, that build business across borders. These are the hands of Pitney Bowes, the craftsmen of commerce. These are the hands that sow the seeds of business growth, that weave the data and find the perfect spot to thrive. These are the hands of Pitney Bowes, the craftsmen of commerce.
Every auto insurance policy has a number. But not every insurance company understands the life behind it. Those who have served our nation have earned the very best service in return. USAA. We know what it means to serve. Get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
Who invented the Reuben? Putting sauerkraut, marble rye, and corned beef together? That's cray-cray. Then again, somebody had to eat eggs for the first time. Arby's, we have the meats.
If you're running a business, LegalZoom has your back. Over the last 10 years, we've helped 1 million business owners get started. Visit LegalZoom today for the legal help you need to start and run your business. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by the Scion IA and IM. Premium standard features that actually come standard. And Liberty Mutual Insurance. See car insurance in a whole new light.
Back in San Diego, the young Huskies chasing 18, less than a minute into the second half. We're down to 8. Or will be down to 8 after tonight in the NIT. This is a second-round game with the winner advancing to the quarterfinals on Wednesday night at 6 against Georgia Tech. They'll have a home game. But first things first, San Diego State trying to close the deal on Washington, who's been in foul trouble and doesn't have Noah Dickerson on the trip, so the bench a little bit depleted. That was a kid that was Ben Simmons' roommate at Montverde Academy in high school. Ben Simmons today declaring for the NBA draft. Spencer thought he got all ball on Marquise Chris. Instead, it's a foul on the senior.
Ben Simmons was a pit stop.
Yes.
He declared for when he signed with LSU for a couple months. Looked like a clean block there.
Spencer had 4 of those clean blocks in the first half. Gets called for the foul there. His career high is 7 against West Virginia in a game earlier this season.
Again, I've been impressed with his defensive positioning. He had been out of position all game long and impacting a team that likes to attack the basket as well. But again, this is where you can see the young team just speeding up their offense, getting out of rhythm. They'll make another run because they're gamers, but they hadn't been able to get a rhythm and flow consistently yet.
Lead is 16, 1 minute into the second half. Spencer was the Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and he's playing like it here. He sets the screen high for Kell. Here's Winston Shepard, the 30, at 10 points and 7 rebounds in the first half.
That's a better job. See, you're running at him. You want him to hit a follow-up. Now, that was a tough shot. He's in the rhythm, but he wasn't able to get inside the paint.
A dozen for Winston Shepard. He was second team All-Mountain West and the 7th all-time leading scorer here at San Diego State. 1,374 career points now. Here's Murray. He really struggled in the first half. Until that field goal went down, he was 1 of 11 in the opening half. So he makes his first field goal of the second half, and we'll see if that can spark the Huskies here.
Yeah, you're watching San Diego State already walking the ball up. They can play at a slower pace, but they'll still probe the defense until they get a mismatch or isolation right there.
Great pass to Allen, who skies in for the dunk, and Winston Shepard, the 3rd, has another assist, his 3rd of the game. Here's Chris playing with 3 personals, and count it. Gets aggressive, attacks the hoop, and gets the basket on the foul.
You can almost have a theme about a team. Young team, talented, long, athletic. But that's who Washington is. All I see right now is youth dripping all off of them. It's an experience. It's a growing pain. It's OJT, on-the-job training. But you better get these young guys right now because they are going to be, I'm just thinking, this time next year, November 1st, it's going to be a problem for a lot of teams matching up with them.
Yes, it will be.
Get them early.
Chris was an all Pac-12 freshman team selection, and Kell, the sophomore from nearby St. Augustine High School here in San Diego, knocks down the triple.
He and Pope are their best three-point shooters. And then Strigley coming off the bench. It's an easy three-pointer.
Kell has 9. Murray drives, changes hands, and now he's 2 for 2 here to start the second half.
Oh, I love this young guy. He just gets into the flow. I mean, he's better than a street baller, but he's got that kind of edge where it's like, all right, what time we playing? I'll be there.
30 points against Long Beach State in the opening round. They just called dime for the foul. Remember, he picked up 2 quickies in the first 2 minutes, had to go to the bench. That's going to be the 3rd there on Malik Dime, the 6'9" junior.
Well, even though he's a shot blocker, his best defender are the wings. If you can keep straight line drives from getting inside the shot blocker, that keeps pressure off of him.
Here's Shepard leading the Aztecs with a dozen.
Get ready to run and help.
Passes inside to Spencer, who was fouled from behind by Chris. And guess what, partner? That is the 4th on Marquise Chris. And he picks it up 3 minutes and 4 seconds into the second half, and the Russo will have to come in and spell him.
You're seeing Spencer anchoring himself inside the paint offensively and defensively, and he's got good hands. That was a good possession for him. Now it can't be an adventure at the free throw line.
But it always is.
Who's that young man from Cleveland Cavaliers that changed hands, the power forward? What's his name from Canada?
Not Bennett.
No, America's, he's out of there. I know America's saying, come on, man. What's his name? Tristan Thompson.
Oh, that's right.
That is an adventure.
Hope was blocked after he got the offensive rebound.
Make one more point, I'm going to leave that alone. Spencer, go to Tristan Thompson's free throw shooting.
At least by the DVD.
But that's been the only hiccup in his game. Other than that, he is having a great game.
Here's Andrews streaking down the floor. They need a bucket, and the senior was the Pac-12 leading scorer at 21 points per game, draws contact. Andrews has been playing an amazing stretch of hoops. The last 6 games, he's had a 30-point game at Oregon State, 47 points at Wazoo, had an 8-assist game in there, a 9-assist game, and a 9-rebound game. The guy just does everything.
And then when he went on senior day, his last home game. That was one for the record with 47.
He gets to the free throw line a ton.
Second in the nation. Free throw attempts over 300 for one person or guard. Story of this game for Washington, if they can cut it to 10 at the 10-minute mark and then make a run at it, they've got to get consecutive stops. Now, their offense can be their best defense because you can't take quick shots or bad shots against a very solid defensive team.
Andrews has been to the free throw line 313 times. He's now made 46 of his last 48 at the free throw line.
Got to get ready to help.
Here's a drive by Hemsley, and blocking it from behind was Thibault. From the Huskies, they've cut it down to 14. They were down 18 a moment ago. And Murray, and a foul on Hemsley. He thought he got a clean block, but the freshman picks up the personal.
Got talented freshman on freshman going at it, trying to establish who's who in their young careers.
So it sends Deshante Murray, the 6'5 freshman from Rainier Beach High School, to the free throw line. 2015 Washington Gatorade High School Player of the Year, and he was all Pac-12 freshman team. The 2016 NCAA Women's Basketball Championships tip off Friday at noon Eastern on ESPN2. Catch every moment of the tournament on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, visit NCAA.com, your home for all 89 NCAA championships.
I love Murray's attitude. He went 1 for 8 or something in the first half. Wasn't very good, but now look at him. They one basket, one possession away from cutting it to 10. Not a smart play.
Foul away from the basketball.
Not a smart play.
And that's going to be on Dime, and that's going to be the fourth on Malik Dime. Not anywhere near the basketball.
No, and for him, he's a shot blocker. He's a defender. You can't be out there in no man's land. Right here, oh, what are you doing? You don't want to get caught up the wrong way.
Kid from the Senegal, who's a soccer player by trade, only learned basketball the last few years here.
Yeah, Malik got a casual stroll coming to the side, but he got suckered on that one.
We talked about 3 guys potentially off this team playing in the NBA one day, and he's one of those guys. He'd be the 3rd guy, along with Murray and Chris. And here's Shepard driving in, and another foul is going to be called. Matisse Thibault, a freshman.
Winston Shepard as well is a player that you don't have to run an offense for. They run an offense through him because he's unselfish. We saw the triple-double. What was that, first time in 2,000 games?
2,508 games here on the Mesa.
But for him to have a willingness to share the basketball, he's a glue guy for his teammate. Emotionally, carries the emotion of the team.
And the highest recruit they've ever signed here. They did have a McDonald's All-American back when Steve Fisher first started in Evan Burns, but he played 1 year and then just kind of disappeared. And then Shepard, about 10 years later, signed. Really put together a very good career, although at times he's frustrated Aztec fans. He's had a lot of potential.
Yeah, well, he's not a natural shooter. So the three-point shot, he knocks it down every once in a while. But his bread and butter is just like Murray, getting into the game, rebounding, defending, assisting.
Andrews misses the mid-range jumper, rebounded by Pope. And Shepard now handling the basketball. There have been times in his career where he's been the point guard.
Well, his greatest asset is his motor. He's playing so hard.
He's comfortable handling the point guard duties. Here's Pope. Look at him go to work, and Pope got fouled. Thibault with the infraction. 15:29 to go. 4th on Thibault. Aztecs have a 56-42 lead here in the second half of play. Great passing leads to easy offense for San Diego State.
You do all this research on the perfect car, then smash it into a tree. Your insurance company raises your rates. Maybe you should have done more research on them.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Gatorade Recover. Protein and carbs for athletes, because the way you recover affects the way you play.
I'm getting slow in my old age, Alfred.
Even you got too old to die young, not for lack of trying.
The greatest gladiator match in the history of the world. Son of Krypton versus Bat of Gotham.
Well, here I am.
Experience it in IMAX. Rated PG-13.
Hey, look. It's car dealership Tube Man in the Scion IA. Recently liberated and never looking back. It's weird he'd want a backup camera. Well, with the whole never looking back thing. And he can barely contain his excitement about the low-speed pre-collision safety system. It's weird he'd care about a 7-inch touchscreen display when his hands are in the air like he just don't. But who better to point out all the standard features? The 2016 Scion IA. 0.0% APR plus $500 bonus cash.
Arby's spent months crafting a tasty Italian antipasto salad as a sandwich alternative. Whoops! It's a sandwich! Arby's, we have the meats.
San Diego State with a 14-point advantage. They only score 68 tonight, last in the conference, but they're probing that Washington defense here tonight, Adrian, to get some easy buckets.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about with Allen. Now watch Andrew Andrews, number 12 right now, probing the defense, just in no man's land, doing a pirouette, and then Allen slips in there for the slam dunk. Easy basket. That's how Shepard got that triple-double. He'll share the basketball, and they'll run an offense from inside out.
14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists for Shepard here. This is well off another triple-double here. But you never know. Here's one statistical note that's mind-boggling here. Only 2 turnovers for the Huskies against this Aztec defense. Yet they're shooting less than 32%, and that's why they find themselves down double digits.
There's no double-figure score right now for Washington. And again, with them helping out San Diego State's defense by shooting quick shots.
Wrigley is 4 for 4. A 23% shooter has buried all 4 3-pointers he's taken tonight.
When he's out there, you have to play a 4-on-4. You've got to completely take him out of it because that's what he's there for. That one possession, and he knocks it down.
Murray draws contact. He'll be headed to the free throw line on the push by Zylan Cheatham.
Now, you have to give him respect. That's too much space out there. Green, you've got to close out. Take away, make him put it on the deck. You've got to touch him with high hands coming out to the shooter. Scouting report's real simple. He's a 3-point shooter.
Yeah, and he was a very good one at nearby La Costa Canyon High School, where Chase Budinger prepped.
I remember that name.
Yeah.
Arizona.
But
played volleyball. Chase was.
Yep. Yeah, they thought at UCLA they were going to get him because perhaps he could play volleyball at the Division I level in basketball because Arizona only had a club volleyball team, but Arizona still lured him to Tucson.
Yeah, he's back there with the Phoenix Suns.
It took Shrigley about 7 games returning from ACL surgery before he finally knocked down his first 3. Very comfortable here tonight. Hemsley attacks the hoop.
That drive was set up because of Shrigley. Green couldn't leave him this time. He had an open lane for his strong hand on the right side.
And Murray in the lane will score in traffic.
Now for Washington, they've got to get stops. You can't go bucket for bucket. But again, this is an Aztec tempo right now. Being patient, they're probing the defense. They want to get inside the paint right there.
Hemsley on the drive, and he drew contact. And they're going to get the foul on Donovan Dorsey, a 6'5" sophomore from Lacey, Washington.
Well, you talk about so much from Washington, but you know what, big state school, that's what you want to do. You want to get the recruits from Washington, and that's where you get super assistant coach Rafael Chilius that really heads that up. Very well respected in the business.
They really had to start over this year, too, after having a couple of big-time transfers. There's a big-time shot on the baseline by Malik Pope. Almost 6 minutes in. There's that harassing Aztec defense. It's 3rd in the nation. Dorsey off the mark with a 3, but DeRusso runs down the rebound.
For the Huskies, see if you can get right inside, right there.
Yep, Andrews does so in the senior hard-earned bucket.
It's a simple game, but it's not simply executed. There's the challenge, executing a simple game plan. Now you got to run at him. He's a strong body. Got away with a walk.
Winston Shepard in the third misfires. Here come the Huskies back in transition. Murray, nice move against Cheatham. And Pope has the rebound off the missed shot. Aztecs start the break. Shepard looking for another assist, and he'll get it as Hemsley pulls in for the baseline jam.
How about that young freshman? Where did that come from, Steve?
He's playing with a bruised right foot that's limited him the last 10 games. Didn't look like it there. Just the third turnover of the ball game for Washington. Hemsley.
Don't want to let this get away from you right now.
And Hemsley fouled by Dominic Green.
The possession before, Hemsley had a layup, and now the open lane. Woo! Big time jump. Right there. Slow transition defense for the Huskies.
Late in the season, he bruised his right foot in the New Mexico game toward the end of the year and didn't realize it. Played one game on it, then sat out. He's only really been turned loose in practice just this week and did not start today, but maybe on Wednesday if they've got a home game against Georgia Tech. Remember, the winner of this game has a home game.
Well, he looks for his offense. He has a green light. He's a scoring point guard, but he's been successful. So he's already in double figures.
Something they did not have last year. They had it 2 years ago with Xavier Thames.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep, such a dynamic player. Trey Kell comes in as a freshman, as a two-guard from St. Augustine, and they say, here you go, here's the ball.
Right.
You got to run the point, and it's made him a better player this year, but certainly they could have used the two-point guard last year. They still got into the NCAA tournament. Here's Green on the run-out back the other way, and a foul on Pope, push from behind.
Now Crisp is coming in off the bench, see if they can get some three-point scoring, because if you can shoot threes, you can close the gap in a hurry. Remember, we talked about at that 10-minute mark if they can get it under 10. But San Diego State has been relentless on holding the Huskies to one and done and getting separation on in the second half.
Green at the free throw line. Pope got called for his second personal. Fans were booing.
Oh, I didn't see much right there.
Might not have touched him at all.
Didn't see much on that one.
Huskies are 14 of 17 at the free throw line. They're still chasing 16. They trap. Bakari Allen breaks the press. Races in and won't get it to fall. Angelo Chol tried for the rebound. It was last touched by Washington, so the Aztecs will retain possession.
I like what I see with Allen as well. He can defend. He's long. He fits well in this scheme. #1 team in the nation, holding opponents to 60 points. 2-point field goals, 41%. And nobody strains the offense.
And he's their best on-ball defender. Holt with an erratic shot. But it is last touched by the Huskies again. So a fresh 30-second shot clock. More defense for the young Huskies, who went 9-9 in the Pac-12 for a 6th-place finish. Who would have thought there'd be only one of 2 teams in the Pac-12 still alive in the postseason here on March 21st?
Yeah, and only one of 24 teams that's vying for still playing in between the NIT and NCAA. So they have got their money's worth out of this season and still trying to prolong it.
Oh my goodness! Wow! Andrews on the drive is fouled on the other end.
Can you say statement? That was a statement, as if he jumped from the ceiling, going along in the flow and coming down. Television doesn't do that justice, folks. That was a big-time dunk. And I wanted to say, Steve, even though they're up almost 20, he hasn't really been doing anything. He was quiet. He's got that kind of ceiling where he can impact the game. He's a game changer.
Yep. 9 points, 9 rebounds now, and by far their best player above the rim offensively. And a kid last year, he had flashes of brilliance in games where people thought perhaps he was going to leave and be a one and done here at San Diego State. Comes back for his sophomore year.
Keep learning how to play.
Yep.
Keep learning how to compete.
And with the new rules now for, you know, potential NBA
you can
kids,
try out for a team and come back.
Exactly, and you'll most likely do it. And Hensley.
You can work out for a team can work you out.
Yep. Scholl was hammered. And DeJounte Murray got him. And Murray picks up his second. How about Pope to break? Maybe call this the Pope Jam here. 16-point advantage for San Diego State at home. Looking to play at home on Wednesday against Georgia Tech.
This is our point of view. If there's a better way, take it. If there's a claim, stake it. If there's a perception, escape it. If there's an open road, never waste it. And if there's a dream to be chased, chase it. This is what we make, and this is how we make it.
Let me see the spoon. Actually, give me the fork. Thanks. I don't know. What do you think?
Cheese looks a little saucy. I'd go spoon.
All right. Yeah, spoon.
Suddenly, he has so much more energy. I can't believe it. It's definitely a turn on.
It's like the guy I knew 10 years ago suddenly showed up again.
He has passion and drive again. It's incredibly sexy.
How are men over 40 enjoying more passion, energy, and vitality than ever with a powerful man-boosting innovation called Nugenix? Powered by Testofen, a key ingredient shown to naturally increase a man's free testosterone levels. Nugenix is the #1 men's vitality product at GNC. There's nothing else like it. Now you can get a complimentary bottle. Just go to trynugenix.com and enter the promo code below. Clinical results show men report significantly higher energy levels with Nugenix. More satisfaction with muscle and strength. More stamina.
He's trim, tight, really terrific.
Feel like the man you used to be with Nugenix. Complimentary bottles are not available in any store. To guarantee yours, go to trynugenix.com and enter the promo code below. That's trynugenix.com.
Tomorrow on ESPN, we'll broadcast the first Major League Baseball game from Cuba since 1999, where the Rays take on the Cuban national team in Havana at 2 Eastern. Carl Ravitch, Eduardo Perez, Doug Glanville, Pedro Gomez, and Tim Kirchen will call the game. It's also going to appear on ESPN Deportes and streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. The winner here advances to the NIT quarterfinals, but a quick turnaround, and they'll be one of 8. And they'll get a home game, one of 8 remaining.
Yeah, San Diego State has put themselves in the position at the halfway mark coming down the home stretch. The way they've played, getting inside the paint and playing inside out, that's also had an opportunity to set the defense because Washington has not gotten into a consistent rhythm to get good shots.
Angelo Scholl at the free throw line. You know, we saw those brackets. You know who's been playing well in the postseason? Not only ACC, but the West Coast Conference. 3 teams still alive. Gonzaga, they're one bid in the NCAA tournament. The Sweet 16.
They've taken advantage of it.
Yep.
Them and Syracuse, they'll strap it up. Those were the 2 happiest coaches to get their teams in, Coach Boeheim and Coach Few.
And the only WCC team to lose in the postseason, Pepperdine, the Eastern Washington, and the CBI. So they had 4 teams in, 3 still alive as we get close to closing out March. Andrews underneath to Chris, and you see the athleticism. He did that so many times in the opener against Long Beach State where they scored 107 points.
Good job where you screen, the defense relaxes, and you're able to slip for that alley-oop. They do that once or twice a game.
He's playing, though, with 4 personal fouls. He's on Hensley now. And Hensley on the crossover. Here's Shrigley.
Too much space for the shooter.
And Shrigley finally misfires, but Scholl has the offensive rebound and the laser beam. And on the second chance opportunity, goes out of bounds off of Pope.
Now watch Marquise Chris set the back pick. We don't see it right there in the picture, but it started with a screen. It started with a back pick, and the defense did not stay attached to him. Anything above the rim, he's going to get it.
I mean, he had one of those after another in the opener against Long Beach State. It was mind-boggling.
Well, Long Beach State doesn't have the defensive veracity of San Diego State.
Chris playing with the 4 personals with a right hand misfires. Murray runs down the board, drives the baseline against Allen. Smart to kick out against a great on-ball defender. They're looking for a 3. Chris missed, but Murray has another offensive board.
See the activity of this young team. Freshman, hustling, freshman.
And it's Chol finally who grabs it. Chris was hanging on the rim. They're going to let him play. There was no whistle.
Yeah.
Here's Pope, and Chris with a huge block. How about that? He had 53 of those on the year. Little erratic, but Murray is there to clean up the miss by Chris.
4 freshmen, and DeRusso as well, that's out there playing basketball. Coach Lorenzo is going with, he needs to turn this tempo right now. The Huskies won't quit, and this is a San Diego State team that's not bothered by their pressure so far in this game.
Hemsley too high off the glass. Here come the Huskies in transition. A bounce pass from Murray, and Green is fouled on the drive. Now they can try and pick up 2 more at the free throw line with the clock stopped. 9:44 to go in regulation.
I'm going to take you back to UNLV when I played in the 80s. Look at that block right there. Gets his Sacramento homeboy. Sacramento versus Sacramento. Both from Sacramento. But UNLV was so explosive in the 80s when I used to play against them. And this is what Washington reminds me of. They've been playing uphill against San Diego State. But, oh my goodness, they are so explosive.
Flashes of Stacey Ogman and Larry Johnson.
Yeah, I had Anthony Jones back then, and Richie Adams used to play, and Armin Gilliam.
Yeah, Armin.
And Coach Tart.
He had coat hangers for his shoulders, or coat hanger in his jersey.
Coach Tart.
He's a mean
And we're
dude.
coming from Washington, D.C., and we got red and white uniforms. I said, man, they sound like us. They talk trash like us. They're built like us. Everybody's 6'7", 6'8", talking trash, running fast. Got to hit those free throws.
Missed opportunities for Washington. Down 14.
2 upperclassmen right here. That means so much to their team. This is a good matchup. 2 veterans going at it.
Hemsley on the bench. There's Shepard with the drive underneath to Spencer. And Murray in the passing lanes with his length knocks it out of bounds.
The patience of Coach Romar and his staff with this young team, because you're playing with so much youth, and they have such an upside, that's what they're saying. They've seen from him this year, the patience with this team.
And you know, as Kell steps back, shoots, and misses, they started in the summer. They ended last year with 3 scholarship players on their roster. Look, they're in the NIT. Andrews, and he drew contact against Shepard. And he'll have a chance to go to the free throw line.
Well, give credit again to Coach Chilius going to get him. And what you want home talent. I was from the Washington, D.C. area, playing at the University of Maryland. The name Lynn Bass, that guy right there, he's from the D.C. area, and he's come out there and made a statement. Very respected of getting local talent that fits the mold. High integrity program, Coach Romar. Remember, Noah Dickerson, they could have used his inside presence in this game. So you got an inside presence, but because he didn't abide by team rules, he's missing a good game.
Yep, he'll be suspended for a week. Andrews here at the free throw line. On his last bucket, when he scored points 10 and 11, he moved into 3rd place all-time on the Washington scoring list, surpassing John Brockman.
Remember that name? Oh, goodness, John Brockman. About 6'7", 6'8", he was a rock. Scoring, rebounding, defending. Now for San Diego State, they've got to continue to score. You don't want this crowd to get quiet, and you don't want to get Washington confidence. This is an important possession for him.
Lead is a dozen for San Diego State. Kell on the drive against Chris, who's playing with the 4 personals. It's a turnover, and here's Murray all by himself to throw it down.
8-minute mark, 10 points. We talked about that. If they get 1 more possession, you got a new game. That mindset, these young pups have a short memory.
There's a nervous hush all over the arena tonight.
Got to continue to score, get to the free throw line if you're the home team. You don't want the crowd to be quiet.
Kell, and a missed shot. And that's going to be Washington's ball now, this time down the floor with 8:26 to go. They can cut it under double digits.
Wrigley's had timely threes. It's one thing to hit threes. It's another thing for timely threes. And you can see this nervous energy from this sellout crowd.
I remember talking to Steve Fisher a couple of days ago after one of their practices. I said, what stands out about Washington? He says they're prone to big swings both ways, and they're on a big offensive swing now as Murray gets it into Devenir DeRusso, and it's a 10-0 lead for the Huskies. They're with an 8.
Well, also, you have Marquise Chris back out there stabilizing the defense. That block shot that he had on Pope, you want to hold him to one and done.
And the foul is going to be on Winston Shepard against Andrew Andrews. Just left of the lane. Shepard picks up another. Inside of 8 minutes to go. Washington on the comeback. They've run off 10 in a row. What was an 18-point advantage for San Diego State is now down to 8.
Who invented the Reuben? Putting sauerkraut, marble rye, and corned beef together? That's cray-cray. Then again, somebody had to eat eggs for the first time. Arby's, we have the meats.
Dove Men Plus Care, the strength test. Like leather, skin is stronger when it's hydrated. That's why Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash has a unique hydrating formula to leave skin healthier and stronger.
Get ready for the big games at Rent-A-Center. Take it to the house with a big 55-inch Vizio flat-screen TV for just $24.99 a week. Or go for 3 with a super crisp 55-inch LG 4K Ultra HD TV for just $29.99 a week. Only at Rent-A-Center. Yeah, you can do that.
You both have a perfect driving record.
Perfect.
No tickets, no accidents.
That is until one of you clips a food truck, ruining your perfect record.
Yeah.
Now, you would think your insurance company would cut you some slack, right?
No, your insurance rates go through the roof. Your perfect record doesn't get you anything.
Anything.
Perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
This is our point of view. If there's a better way, take it. If there's a claim, stake it. If there's a perception, escape it. If there's an open road, never waste it. And if there's a dream to be chased, chase it. This is what we make, and this is how we make it.
If the Italian flag does not already have a loaded Italian sandwich on it, someone get the Pope on the phone. Arby's has an idea. Arby's, we have the meats.
This NIT second-round game has gotten interesting here in the last 3:39 because Washington's on a 10-0 run. They're coming back from down 18 to down 8 now, and DeJounte Murray has come alive here in the second half.
It's interesting. The veteran coach, Romar, said, stop trying for the home runs. You're doing a great job going possession at a time. And look at that. You're getting overplayed, going with the back door. They're in sync now. This offense is starting to get traction.
Murray was 1 of 11 from the floor in the first half. Here in the second half, he's 5 of 8. He now leads the Huskies with 15 points, and he's really the only guy not in foul trouble. Chris, Thibault, and Dime all have 4 apiece, and Winston Shepard picked up his 3rd just before we went to the break. So 7:56 to go.
Good things happen when you play with the resilience, when you meet intensity on intensity. We got ourselves a game now. Let's see what the Huskies can do coming out of this timeout. Look for a backdoor cut. You got a zone now for San Diego State. We hadn't seen that in a while. 6th man, the fans come alive here at Viejas Arena. They're called the show. Chris for 3, and the big fella hits it. It's now a 5-point ball game. How about the competitive desire to not lay down on their season as freshmen on the road at the best home crowd in the last 8 years. Yep. 7th best, 90% win percentage.
They were only 3 and 6 on the road. That's a great pass from the freshman Hensley into Xylem Cheatham, the fellow freshman who slams it home. And the Aztecs, with that smothering defense, get the turnover of the senior Andrews.
Now, sneaking past the defense, you got to know, watch this. It's a highlight. Bang, we got you. Marquise Chris, I can do what you do as well. Unselfish play, 2 veteran coaches that have good, well-disciplined teams playing well off of each other. It's an excellent game.
How about 71 points for San Diego State, still with 7 minutes to go. Hensley drives in and got it blocked by Green. Wow, the nation's leading shot-blocking team has 1 more on the resume. That's now 6 blocks for UW.
Good basketball instincts. Beat on the play, but you're meeting them at the point of attack.
Still got 1 more to go to get to their average.
Shepard. Good job by Shepard, not settling for the 3-point shot.
Backing in on Chris, who's playing with 4 personals, and Shepard gets the friendly home rim. .16 for Shepard.
Look at the white jerseys from the home team trying to sit down on them, not giving up anything easy.
Chris, there's a foul, and they're going to call a blocking foul. Oh, my. Fans don't like it. And playing with fire right there is Chris. That's going to be the blocking foul on Spencer.
Skyler moving. 2 big guys out of control. Chris was out of control with that one. You don't want to, if that had been a 5th foul, that would have been a cheap way to go out, being out of control in the post.
I was nervous for the young man.
That's pretty impressive with Spencer moving his feet, though.
Well, you got to learn how to move those feet to be Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Year.
A reflection of Steve Fisher and his coaching staff. They're not a flashy team. They don't do anything that overwhelms you. They just continue to play good position defense, and offensively, they share the basketball, looking for isolations or mismatches.
Winner gets Georgia Tech at home on a Wednesday night. A 6 p.m. start on ESPN2. Hensley to the and he blew the dunk.
This time you want to lay up right there.
Murray bounce pass to Chris, and he throws it down over Cheatham.
Wow. Steve, wow. That was explosive, so quick. I know we're going to run it on the highlights. I'm going to tell you ahead of time, it won't do justice. That was something.
Probably got 5 professional basketball players in the future on the floor. On the give and go, Kell drives in, and a blocking foul will be called against the senior Andrews.
All right, let's see if this highlight can do some justice. Coming down on the fast break, the Huskies up, and whoa, that was okay. On the highlight. And that's a shot block of Cheatham. Wow, that's explosive.
Again, almost cut from his high school freshman basketball team. That would have been like 4.5 years ago.
I'm going to tell you now, I was a leaper way back 100 years ago, but not like that. In fact, I'm going to take the T out and change it for the D. Not like that. That was impressive.
Chris Ford has him on his draft board. Got the email today as number 9 best available player, so a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Cheatham comes out, Pope comes in. It's an 8-point advantage for San Diego State. 5:48 to go. Possession arrow pointing toward Washington.
Huge possessions. This is where Andrew Andrews comes off a high screen and roll if he calls for the big guy.
Murray feeds Chris on the low post, and he turns over Spencer, misses, and Shepard grabs another board.
Spencer wins that one. He just challenged his shot, plus kept him out the lane.
Shepard a double-double, 16 and 10.
Plays hard. I don't know if there's anything he can hang his hat on except playing hard.
Earn another game and get to the Garden. The winner of this game is 1 win away from getting to the Garden. And Murray with a steal. Back the other way, he drives, and Murray can't get it to go, but there's Chris to slam it down.
Coach Chili has said we don't run an offense for this young man, and you see why. Highlights, running the basket, running second half hustle play. You don't need to run the offense for this guy. Can San Diego State execute now with the lively defense from Washington?
19 for Chris, and there is Hensley taking advantage of the foul trouble of Washington. He was going to penetrate the rest of the ball game. Andrews, and a foul will be called on San Diego State. They're going to get Hensley, the freshman.
You're seeing the best of both teams now. Both teams have answered each other's best shot. Washington is coming down. They're getting what they want on transition. San Diego State, through Hensley, has the ability to break down on the defense. This is a good game. Roll back the furniture. You're just looking at young guys throwing haymakers at each other.
Here's a great free throw shooter, 85% at the free throw line. Told you he gets there a bunch, and he came in having made 44 of his last 46 at the line.
Both teams now are not tentative. For San Diego State, they're not tentative on the defense. Good teams are going to, shot blocking teams, both of them are shot blocking teams. They're going to make good plays on you. But now they figured out the pace and the rhythm of each other. It's all about who can come down and execute with 4:20 left in this game.
Andrews has made 8 of 9 at the charity stripe to pull the Huskies within 6. And as they trap Kell, there was a foul, and they're going to get Murray, and he's okay. From a foul trouble standpoint, that's just going to be his 3rd.
Steve, I like Kell and Hensley. Now, Kell looks like he wants to get bailed out by the call sometimes, but when he's determined to go in and score, he plays with pace. He's deceptively quick and strong. He plays well off of. This is a nice little team.
Here's Kell to the free throw line. He's exceeded the expectations in his 2nd season now that they moved him from the point to the 2-guard.
A little combination, though, a little combo guard.
Mountain West Conference coaches rewarded him. He was a first-teamer according to the coaches, but the media thought he was a 3rd-teamer, and he was battling the flu during the Mountain West Conference tournament, so he plays a little bit better. Perhaps they win and they get in the NCAA tournament. Here's a turnover. DeRusso wasn't looking. Aztecs have it back. They can strike. Kell on the drive with the pass. Shepard runs it down in the corner. Shepard against Murray.
Gotta go to him. You're already beat.
Back it in. Splits 2 defenders and scores.
You're already beat when you get a post player getting 2 feet inside the paint.
18 for Winston. Shepard the lead back up to double figures. Murray with the right-hand floater in the lane, and it's back to 8.
It's like Mom and Dad, we're down in the schoolyard. We'll be home for dinner.
Yeah, last one with the ball might win.
How about San Diego State? 81 points right now. And they have to continue to score against a high-tech offense.
Kell, an open 3, and hits it.
He is giving his best Andrew Andrews imitation right now.
Speaking of Andrews, he quickly scores on the other end, pulls the trigger quick. Talk about how quickly they like to push the tempo. They take 12 seconds off the shot clock. You've done your job defensively.
Well, the respect that they have for Washington, and they're going out, and this is one of their highest scoring games against a very good high-octane tempo team.
With 10 points. He'll step back and take the jumper over Chris and hit it over that lane. Even Chris.
Yeah, patted him. It's a good shot.
Yep, and Chris. And that's going to be off of Chris. There will be no foul called. As he fell to the ground, he stares down the ref. And that's going to be a Washington turnover as we head to break. Trey Kell with a big 3-pointer here to give him 16.
There's a lot in the name called Trey, knocking it down. He says, hey, I want my crowd cheering for me too. We're ready to go.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Acura, precision crafted performance, and Arby's. Arby's, we have the meats.
Why are people walking and biking the subway? For our delicious new rotisserie-style chicken. It's raised without antibiotics and hand-pulled by 2 huge forks. Try it today with tumbling peppers and slow-motion onions. The new rotisserie-style chicken sandwich from Subway. Fresh is what we do.
You focus on making great burgers, or building the best houses in town, or becoming the next highly unlikely .com superstar. In us, we'll be right there with you, helping with the questions you need answered to get your brand new business started. We're LegalZoom, and we've already partnered with over 1 million new business owners to do just that. Check us out today to see how you can become one of them. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
If Right Twix is going to be over there cascading caramel on cookie all night, we'll be over here flowing caramel on cookie.
Wouldn't it be funny if they were working late just because they thought we were working late?
They're not that stupid.
Try both. Pick a side. Twix. Here's the plan. You're a financial company that cares, but your logo is old and a little pointy. So you evolve. You simplify. You haven't changed. You still help people live their best lives. And finally, your new logo is ready, and you decide the perfect time to show the world is right now.
This is our point of view. If there's a better way, take it. If there's a claim, stake it. If there's a perception, escape it. If there's an open road, never waste it. And if there's a dream to be chased, chase it. This is what we make, and this is how we make it.
Put more fun in your day with ice cream flavored coffees at Dunkin' Donuts. Go for delicious flavors like butter pecan, cookie dough, or new pistachio. Enjoy one today. America runs on Dunkin'.
Aztecs did drop 92 at home versus UNLV earlier this month, but 86 points, Adrian Branch, is rarely seen in these parts.
Oh, Shepard inside the paint with the determination. All I see on his face is determination. He's a senior. Kale sharing the sugar, mixing it up. And how about Hemsley? The quickness, the step-back drive, that play there. Marquise Chris patted him on the back and said, good play.
You look at the offense on the rise for San Diego, who for much of the Mountain West Conference season had been really challenged. The last 9 games, the points are up significantly. So too is the field goal shooting and what they've done from beyond the arc. But one thing that we should point out is that their bench has come up big time. 30 points off of the San Diego State bench, and that's 12 apiece for Shrigley and Hemsley.
Yes.
And Hemsley normally, he's normally a starter, but he's still battling the right foot bruise. Speaking of Hemsley, gets it to Cal, coming up on 2.5 minutes to go. They've got an 11-point lead, and they'll use up some of the clock here at home. Winner goes to the quarterfinals, gets Georgia Tech at home.
Yeah, as the coaching staff with San Diego State, why aren't you a guys a tournament team? And he said the perception is if the top-tier teams of the Mountain West are not in the tournament, their wins aren't quality.
And Spencer cleans up the miss by Kell. The coach tells him, hey, get away from the camera guy and get back and play defense. And Andrews trying to chase down his own shot, can't. And they trap Pope, it's out of bounds. And it's going to be Washington basketball.
How about the effort of the Huskies? Down 13, still active, trapping where they can. For San Diego State, with that scoring, looks like at their rate, they're going to crack 90.
Yeah.
They're going to crack 90.
And applaud the Huskies for what they've done on the road here tonight. They're 6th in the NCAA in scoring at 84 a game. The Aztecs are 3rd in points allowed at 60, but they've got 75 and counting. Murray is fouled as he drives in.
I've been impressed with both teams. San Diego State is good as advertised defensively. This has been out of character for the positive with them scoring in the high 80s. Looks like they may crack 90s. And for Washington, the theme is the narrative, they're just young. Check back with them when their big brother comes.
Yeah.
And it's them. They go from being a scrawny 13-year-old to all of a sudden Marquise Chris, 6'10", with an attitude.
Hemsley picked up his 4th personal foul. Lorenzo Romar wants to spend a timeout here with his team down 88-75. This week, our NBA Wednesday doubleheader presented by State Farm on ESPN as Carmelo and the Knicks in Chicago to battle Jimmy Butler and the Bulls at 8 Eastern. Then at 10:30, it's the NBA's fiercest rivalry. CP3, DeAndre Jordan, and the Clippers take on Splash City at Oracle Arena. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown, charged by Dew at 7. Have both games streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Well, we've been treated to a heck of a ball game, partner. Alongside Adrian Branch, I'm Steve Quist. Aztecs trying to close out this NIT second-round game and move on to host Georgia Tech at home. It'd be a Wednesday game at 6 o'clock on ESPN2, and they'll likely have, if they can hold it here, another 12,414 in the building. There was some disappointment, certainly, when they didn't get in for the first time in 7 years into the NCAA tournament, but that quickly went away, and the fans, and led by Steve Fisher, buying into the NIT experience.
And remember, we talked about it with some NIT teams that can go either way, the ones that are on the bubble and have to settle.
St. Bonaventure, right?
Yes, all of a sudden, and then they tank it, they're not there. How about the character of San Diego State enjoying the fruit of their labor in front of the home team?
San Diego State had made the NCAA field 6 straight years until this year. They lost in the Mountain West Conference Championship game for the 3rd straight year. This time it cost them after winning the regular season championship 3 straight years. And there's a foul. Hemsley's going to go to the free throw line.
Well, for San Diego State, they should be hungry to try to get to New York. The way they've had a balanced attack, they've come out, they've answered against a feisty Washington team that's made the adjustment in the second half. And for Washington, they've represented themselves very well. Their first postseason with this extremely young team. Coach Romar, in his 17th year, one of the all-time winningest coaches in Husky, number 2 in all-time wins. Patient. And then they've got a Markel, 5-star McDonald's All-American, coming to reload this program.
Mr. Fultz will be here shortly.
Both teams are in good hands next season.
Murray with his spin move, and it got away from him. I think the Huskies are going to start playing the foul game now, because San Diego State's just a 68% free throw shooting team. And now you got to play out the possession here, and the fans come to their feet. They say, bring on Georgia Tech here, 10 to shoot. Shepard over Chris, and a foul is called. And that is going to be the end of the evening for Marquise Chris, and the fans in Seattle hoping that it's not the end of his Washington Husky career. Fouls out with 19 points and 4 rebounds.
And a great learning experience. This was a great experience for this young, talented freshman. They represented themselves very well. San Diego State got bopped in the nose last year, 36 points. That wasn't the story of this game. They had a resilience that they weren't going to go into an offensive lull.
Chris made the all Pac-12 freshman team. He won't turn 19 until July.
19 until July. Can't even remember 19. I was somewhere telling jokes at 19. He's balling out.
9 freshmen starting the year under 19 years old. 3 are still only 18 years old for the youngest squad in the Pac-12, who's missed the NCAA tournament now 5 consecutive years, but had to add 11 new players, including 7 freshmen this year.
Yeah, they should take off Washington Huskies and put "Get Us While We're Young." Yep. They should put that on there, because they're going to be a problem, folks. They're as good as advertised. They are.
And still, winning 9 games in the Pac-12 should be applauded. They finished in a tie for 6th. I know the conference got 7 teams in, and all you can ask for is being a bubble team at the end of the year when you have such a young team. Late in the year, a win or 2 here, they would have been in the NCAA tournament. And Andrews, who has made it a career getting to the free throw line, will get there after the foul is picked up by the freshman Jeremy Hemsley, and he's been disqualified.
Hemsley played very well off the bench. That's been the story of the game, really, the bench production.
Yep. 13 points. He was only 4 of 15 shooting, but he just kept taking it to the rack and getting fouled. He wound up getting to the free throw line 8 times.
Well, he's a scoring point guard, and for this team that doesn't go with a lot of possessions, he gets his money's worth when he's able to get a shot for himself or his teammates. All 5 of them play well off of each other.
Coaches loved Hemsley. He was named the Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Year by the coaches. Media didn't think so, but the coaches, and that's a big one. That one counts. I think maybe a little bit more than the media. Timeout on the floor with 1:07 to go. 91-76. And if San Diego State can close it out over the last 1:07, and we're in the election year, so we're projecting that, right?
No hanging chads.
No hanging chad. Projecting number 2 against the 4-seed Georgia Tech, who had a big win tonight at South Carolina on the road. 9 Eastern on ESPN2, 6 Pacific.
Quick turnaround. Georgia Tech has to come out here. But again, this is the time of year with all that hard work, with all the shooting drills, weightlifting, tape that you watch. This is a reward for the hard work.
Quick turnaround for the facilities folks here, the ticket folks. You don't realize. I mean, you're going to sell 12,414 tickets in less than 48 hours.
Has this been an amazing atmosphere or what? This has been amazing. What they've been selling out the last 3 years or something.
Well, they had a string of 73 consecutive sellouts. They only had 85 in the building against IPFW for the first game, but we talked about the buy-in now. It'll be a bigger buy-in because that Georgia Tech team is going to be tough. They're playing well here. 1 minute to go. Aztecs are very good at closing out ball games. Shepard has it. They were in NIT semifinals, got to the Garden the last time they were in the NIT in 2009. They're going to be 1 win away. The strip, Murray has it. Murray gets it back, and Murray scores it. That'll put him at 20 points with 35 seconds to go. 91-78. And Dakari Allen has it.
They say, hold on, we just saw that with Northern Iowa. 28 seconds left, and they came back. So,
hey, San Diego State had a game here it's been about 8 or 9 years now where they blew a 10-point lead to UNLV in the final 19 seconds. So
they don't want you to remind them of that one, Steve. Thanks. The home team is saying thanks, Steve. But you want to finish up, and you want to pay attention to detail. That's what it is. For 40 minutes, every coach in college will tell you we want to play the right way for 40 minutes.
Now, defense might have been down a little bit. Credit the Huskies and all their talent, but the offense shining tonight for San Diego State. Murray in and out, and a foul by Green with 23.6 seconds to go. So let's talk about Washington and their future here for Lorenzo Romar. You know, there's been talk that Murray will go to the NBA draft, and Chris as well. Dickerson is suspended for this one. Thibault and Chris definitely will be back with Markelle Fultz coming, an All-American.
Well, first of all, if Marquise Chris goes, if they're talking about a number 9, he's got to make a real decision. They should expect to be a top 15 team, and we're saying that generous because this is a top 10 talent. Also, where you have Markelle Fultz coming in, McDonald's All-American, with a veteran coach like Coach Romar that does things the right way, character coach. Both programs, Washington and San Diego State, will be loaded. They'll be seeing each other again, but not in the NIT. The likelihood will be in the NCAA tournament.
Andrews, free throw line jumper, no good. Perhaps the final shot of his Huskies career. It goes out of bounds, and San Diego State will have it. What a career for this young man. Third all-time leading scorer at the school, just past John Brockman in this game. They'll get on a charter. They'll be back in Seattle about 4 or 5 hours from now, and will enjoy the rest of their spring break. Meantime, San Diego State's moving on a home game Wednesday in the quarterfinals inside this building against a pesky Georgia Tech team.
93 points against, just like you said, a feisty, pesky Washington team. Well-played game. San Diego State is a hot team that's got another game in 2 days at home.
20 for Winston Shepard. He had 10 rebounds. He had the double-double, 16 for the sophomore Trey Kell. Our final score, San Diego State 93, Washington 78. NBA Tonight will begin right after these messages. So long from Viejas Arena in San Diego, California. For Adrian Branch and our terrific ESPN crew, I'm Steve Quist. Good night from the West Coast.
Welcome into NBA Tonight. I'm Cassidy Hubbard alongside Bruce Bowen. And coming up, LeBron James may not follow the Cavs on Twitter. That's an awesome story. But he sure led his team tonight. Yeah. Meanwhile, both the Warriors and Spurs had a bit of a hangover tonight from their Saturday showdown.
Did the one team learn something from the last game they played?
Yeah, and San Antonio got a taste of Linsanity in their game.
You're giving it away.
No. Oh, how about this? And speaking of Lynn, he's the #1 seed in our new NBA Tonight bracket, the battle for best hair. You can't judge,
Follically
Chris.
challenged.
You can't.
Follically challenged.
All that and more on NBA Tonight. Let's ball.
So
the Warriors looking to improve to 7-0, coming off losses this season, taking on the Timberwolves. And Steph, you know, just your ho-hum 40-footer. A lot of Warriors fans in Mini tonight. And just like the Spurs, the Timberwolves were switching on everything, creating Towns guarding Curry.
Yeah, and, you know, I like the plan, but you got to have guys committed to that plan as well.
And see Curry just taking advantage. And how does he even get that shot to go?
Ambidextrous.
Yeah. And then just before the half, Warriors up 1. Curry gets isolated on Towns again, and his three rattles out, but Draymond there for the cleanup.
And Draymond's done a good job. He did a good job this game of cleaning up the glass quite a bit.
Certainly did in the fourth quarter. But first, in the third, Curry trying to create something off the dribble, but turns the ball over, and Zach LaVine finds Towns, who, despite, you know, struggling on D against Curry, had a huge game, 24 points, 11 rebounds.
Yeah, but, I mean, you can't necessarily think that it's Towns that's going to guard someone like Curry. But I think the Timberwolves should have kept going to Towns a little bit more tonight.
Because in the fourth quarter here, Klay Thompson misses the floater, 0 for 9 from two-point range, but Green grabbing their offensive rebound, and he really took off in the fourth.
Yes, he did, and that's what you want from a guy like Draymond. Draymond does it a different way. He's not somebody you're going to isolate and create shots for, but he's a guy that cleans things up for him. And then defensively,
they came up big because here, down 2 with another 30 seconds to play. Andrew Wiggins can't get the fadeaway to go to tie the game. And the Warriors, come away with the 109-104 win. And with the loss, the Timberwolves eliminated from playoff contention. The Warriors, you're sad about that?
Oh,
you
man.
Thought they almost had it? The Warriors, meanwhile, improved to 7-0 in games following losses this season. Third team in NBA history to go 70 games into a season without consecutive losses. Now, Steph Curry, 19 points. He's now scored fewer than 20 points in consecutive games for the second time this season. Now, despite those numbers, he's not worried.
I feel pretty confident, just, you know, have been making them, and that it happens. For me, I'm not going to get too high, too low. You know, take good shots so you can hopefully get a rhythm and things like that, which I can get better at, but I'm not going to stop from shooting.
In this game, you got to give defense some credit, but he's